Welcome to the holiday edition of Data Driven Leadership.
I wanted like bells to ring when you said that.
Yeah. Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Wow, this is amazing.
I know. Right?
Yeah, that's good.
Well, the holidays are upon us, and we wanted to take a moment and just wish you all the happiest of holidays,
Definitely.
right?
Yes.
And an amazing new year. And also, thank you so much for all the support and love that you all have shown.
Yeah. Well, and for those of you who don't know, Chelsea is our producer extraordinaire and our VP of marketing at Resultant. So she's the genius behind the podcast.
So I'm interested, Jess, in not so much like holiday information, but I really want to know from you, do you have any New Year's resolutions? Are you even a New Year's resolution kind of gal, or do you use this time more as like a reflection point?
I mean, yes to both. So like it's a reflection point that yields resolutions. So I'm a resolution person.
Okay.
I think that those should not be like off the cuff things that you just randomly decide. I mean, you do you, but for me, it's more of like, what am I proud of this year?
Mm-hmm.
What do I wish I'd done better? What are things that I want to stretch to do next year, and what does it look like? So I don't know, like I think that resolutions, a lot of people say that they're over it. I think resolutions are super healthy. I think it represents your ability to like hope and like think about the kind of like you want to lead and actually like lead into it a little bit.
Have you ever had a resolution that you followed through on for the entire year? I've had one. And I was in 8th grade, and I decided that for one entire year, I was going to avoid soda. And my aunt was like, I don't think you can do this. I don't think you have it in you to avoid soda. Pop, as we called it in my hometown. I don't know, just
Pop.
Did you say pop?
Yeah.
For a year. And so she let me $100. And when I was, in 8th grade, $100 was like, I've got to do it.
Right.
So that was the only New Year's resolution I was ever able to fully accomplish.
That's it, though.
That's it.
What is the resolution that you wish you would have accomplished? What's like the one?
I mean, I'm like every other normal adult in America that thinks that the new year is going to result in me getting into shape and being healthy, or I set forth to like have a green smoothie every day. That lasted all of 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I do better at starting habits at like a time in my life where I feel like it's relevant, not necessarily at the new year. So that's when I perform better. When I am feeling like, you know what? I really need to make sure I floss every single day.
Thank you.
or whatever it is, right?
Flossing, soda.
Yeah, I mean, how many of you all floss your teeth every single day?
I will admit, I just got this new floss I'm obsessed with, and I floss every day right now. It's been like 2
because
weeks.
You love the floss so
I'm
much?
obsessed with the floss.
Okay, well, here's a weird data-driven personal thing for you. I have a toothbrush that comes with Bluetooth and syncs to an app and tells me all kinds of data about the way I brush my teeth, and I think it's so fascinating.
Are you serious?
I literally look forward to looking at the data in the app. It's telling me like how often I'm brushing my teeth, like is it twice a day, for how long am I brushing my teeth, the pressure of which I'm applying the toothbrush,
really,
the angle of which I'm using the tooth. I mean, it is insane, but I'm so fascinated by the data behind brushing my teeth.
That is fascinating.
It's kind of where the whole flossing thing came in as well, and it's a new habit. But so anyway, back to the original question of, do you have any New Year's resolution?
A big one for me is reading. I have found that if I'm reading, not just anything, but like it's like there's 2 levels. There's read something, and then when I get to I have time in my life to read some decent fiction, Jess is in a happy place. I'm a happier version of myself. I'm thrilled. I've got a little like I am an introvert, even though I hide it. And so if I have that time to myself to read a good book and enjoy it, if you look over on the couch and I'm giggling to myself as I flip the page, we're in a good place. So usually there's something for me about like the number of books I'm trying to read in a year. So I think last year I'm not, there's so many people who read so many more books than me. It was like 25 or 50 years.
That is so funny because I had the exact same New Year's resolution this year. It was to read 20 books.
Okay.
And I think I'm at like 13.
Okay.
But I ebb and flow with reading, right? Like there are periods in my life where I am a reading machine.
Yes.
And you cannot stop, and I have sleepless nights because all I can think about is reading that book.
That's right.
And then there are dry periods where I've got nothing.
Yes, it's gardening season.
It's gardening,
like the book goes away and we're gardening for the month. Yeah.
Exactly.
So we're about to hit, I call it my book and my puzzle time. We're in like the winter months of books and puzzles. Mm-hmm. And like the kids are kind of at the point where they enjoy puzzles so they can get their own puzzles because I don't want them messing with mine.
Right.
And then I can work on mine or I can read. And so those are like, I think like, I don't know, it'd be nice to hit more than 50 bucks in a year. That'd be cool to me.
What are you doing on a monthly basis or daily basis to even think back to your New Year's resolution and whether you're on track or way behind? Like, do you have a system in place? Because I do not. Other than I use my notes on my phone to keep track of the books that I've read, but it's not like I have a cadence where the first Monday of every month I go and look and see, am I on track or am I behind?
Okay, yeah, no, I have a few that work for me. So, one, people might think this is crazy, but for some reason we just go back to the bathroom with flossing and brushing, using a dry erase marker on my mirror. Ooh. Putting it on my mirror where every day I'm washing my face, every day I'm brushing my teeth, I'm gonna wake up and see it. And like what I really love is if you're like trying to save money or trying to get through a number of books, if it's something quantitative, my ability to like scratch it off. Like, hey, we saved $1,000, or like, hey, I read 2 books. I'm sort of like checking off the 2 books out of the 50. That like I'm an achiever naturally on the Enneagram. I'm a 3, and so the ability to sort of feel like I'm making quantitative progress toward a goal. Mm-hmm. So that's a good one for me is on my mirror. But that's like first thing in the morning, and it's like a lot of morning habits. That's really helpful for me. And then time blocking. So like figuring out what calendar you really live off of with your like whoever, your loved ones, if you have a shared calendar or if you have your own calendar. But like I block things in. It's not just about meetings. Like you're blocking your time. Sure. You're making a priority. So if you're gonna do like when I was trying to do some working out in the day, I was working from home and I blocked like not just 12 to 1. I blocked like 11:45 to 1:15 so I could actually work out and I wasn't stressed about jumping to a meeting. And if I started late, I had to miss my workout. Sure. Like really thinking through the time blocking. So those are 2 that I've used. And then of course, like there's a zillion apps for different stuff.
Right. Something that I found really useful, and this isn't applicable to every New Year's resolution or even any habit that not every habit that you're trying to track towards, but I have realized that when I get my husband involved also in the habit, he is a lot more disciplined than I am. So I find myself following through with these habits more so if it's like a joint venture versus me just individually trying to accomplish this all by myself. Like the flossing is a great example of this because every night we have this routine that we're doing together, right? As far as like, you know, our self-care routine and what that looks like. And flossing has been a part of it for both of us, which that's just one example of like many, right? But it's just so much easier for us to... When
someone's doing it with you.
Yeah, when someone's doing it with you. When you've got a partner in crime.
It is easy, but I'd also say...
Flossing or robbing a bank, whatever.
Making sure that you are equal parts contributing.
Yeah.
Because I think what's difficult is if my husband and I have done that, when we both don't feel like it, it's a disaster. Yeah. Like it helps if we have to make sure somebody is sort of like, even if it's like, hey, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I will make sure that we are flossing. Tuesday, Thursday, the weekends, you make sure we're doing the thing.
Well, and something our audience may or may not know is that Jess Carter likes to drop some wisdom bombs on LinkedIn. So if you're not following her, make sure you go follow her. But just recently you had posted something and I thought about this the other night.
The habit thing.
It's about so good, right? You can skip one night.
You can't skip 2.
You cannot skip 2 because it's all downhill from there.
Boom, you have a habit. Because didn't you hear the 21-day thing? I was raised thinking you have to do something for 21 days.
That's not true.
A habit. It's not true.
It's not true. I've done a million things 21 days, and then I fall flat on day 22.
That's right. But if you just never miss 2 days in a row, you're done. You did it. You're at least 50% done. I mean, it's like it makes things so much more simple. Yeah. And I think where I tend to fail is I will overcomplicate something.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get something done, and I'm trying to work out 5 days a week, but does my volleyball night count? And you kind of get into this, well, I didn't sleep well enough, so maybe I should sleep instead of working. And you're just fooling yourself.
Right.
And so the sense of like, forget it. Did I work out yesterday? Yes. I can take a day off. Go to sleep. We'll do this tomorrow. And it helps you make your decision quicker and move on.
I mean, I've literally thought about this 2 or 3 times since you posted that wisdom bomb, and I thought, you know what, that is so true.
And then you went flossed.
When flossed, I was like, I skipped last night on accident. Oops, like I cannot skip tonight. According to Jess Carter, it's like all downhill. So tonight's the night.
I do geek out over like those little like research items or like little sentiments I hear where I'm like, why doesn't everyone know this? Everyone should know this. Yeah. And then I post it and pretend that everyone reads I liked it.
Okay.
That's going to do it.
Hey, let's get back to the holidays really quickly. I'm curious, Jess, do you have a favorite holiday song?
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
That's good. A little NSYNC magic for you.
NSYNC is great. I will say NSYNC, and this is going to be a weird one, but sorry, what's his name? Bing Crosby.
Oh.
So I'm a big Bing Crosby Christmas girl.
Yeah.
So I love the old stuff, and then like little NSYNC in my life.
I actually think his most popular Christmas song is like the most popular of all time.
Probably. As it should be. What about you?
Truthfully, I blare NSYNC Christmas
As you should.
album, the entire album,
As you
every
should.
single Christmas. When I'm putting up my Christmas tree and decorating for the holidays, like I always go back to NSYNC.
Yeah. I was raised on Christmas morning. Like we woke up to cinnamon rolls and like coffee and behind the scenes is quiet. There's a fire on and Kenny G Christmas.
We had the exact same childhood. Oh my gosh, my mom listens to Kenny G Christmas every single year, and she'd be in the kitchen making a breakfast casserole or cinnamon rolls or something. We had the exact same upbringing.
My husband thought it was the weirdest thing.
My mom is gonna die when she hears this.
Brad will be glad. He was gonna say like you lied if I didn't admit that Kenny G was part of this. Like yes, I like the other two, but that Christmas morning is Kenny G time.
That is so good. I'm so glad I'm not alone.
Yeah.
What do you think about when we're planning for next year, 2024, and you think about the podcast and where it goes and how data-driven leadership, just evolves? Do you have a wish?
I mean, the sky is the limit to me. I never thought that we would be where we are with the kind of listenership we have. And so for me, it is like, it's to your point, it's whatever the listeners want to hear. Like to me, the best thing we can do is continue to hear them out on what they want to understand, what they want to learn, what they want to share. And so for me, it's just that it continues to be valuable to them, that it's not just, I don't know, smoke and mirrors or us talking in a closet. It's like a real thing that seems to be adding value. So to me, like the pragmatic piece, how do we continue to make this make data and tech make more sense to more people? To me, that would be a delight with exciting stories that make it easy to do that. Like it's great stories that also help you understand more about a different part of data or tech that you didn't know before. So
we spent the last year and a half really talking about folks that have already had like a data journey and what that looks like and the problems that they've solved. What I am like really hoping for as far as 2024 is concerned is I want to start hearing stories of like what people solved because they were inspired by an episode or by a certain guest that we had. Cool. Like that would be really powerful and really fun to hear.
Wow.
And just a pipe dream of mine as it relates to
that is so
how people are internalizing this content, how they're thinking about it, how they're solving their own problems and challenges based off of what they heard, or maybe they were inspired, or whatever the case may be. I think that to me is the dream for 2024.
Well, and we've already heard some of that, but I get surprised. I think it's always easy to do that. It's hard to remember to tell us, like to share, hey, this was actually valuable to me. Here's what I did with it.
Yep.
We've had a few people reach out. It's been amazing. But to think about, to your point, what if that happened in spades? What if this became truly so valuable that people couldn't help but
That's the dream.
Yeah, I like it. Okay.
Awesome.
Let's just make that happen. Is that easy?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're listening and you've been inspired, like, please tell us, right?
Oh yeah, they do. We don't have anything to do.
Right.
They have to tell us.
You have to tell us.
Can you guys tell us?
Do you want to be a guest and come and tell your story? This is one way to do it.
Okay, that would be another way to accentuate your wish. Like, to have somebody who's a listener join us on the podcast and talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I'm feeling inspired.
I want you all to go chew on that.
I have a new resolution. It's that. Thank you for listening. I'm your host, Jess Carter. And don't forget to follow the Data-Driven Leadership wherever you get your podcasts. Rate and review, letting us know how these data topics are transforming your business. We can't wait for you to join us on the next episode.